guys are doing looking at the stage, because leadership is from the top. I'm up here on the 3rd floor. Everybody up on the 3rd floor, make some noise! Here's what we're gonna do. It's a competition between all the floors. Everybody on the 3rd floor, look down at the people below you and say, ha ha, I'm taller than you. Now I'm on the 2nd floor. Everybody on the 2nd floor, what's up? Make some noise! Yeah! Everybody do this. If you're on the 2nd floor, say, I am great. I am amazing. And the 2nd floor is the best. Everybody on the ground floor, there's more of you there than anywhere else. If you're on the ground floor, make some noise! Guys up top, what do you think of that? Who's better? Who's louder? My name is John Beede. I'm 27 years old, and I'm a rock climber from Las Vegas. I want to start today by asking you guys 3 questions. Question number 1, and I need an enthusiastic Georgia response to each one of these questions. How many of you guys would like to leave here today with more money in your wallet, pocket, or purse than you came in? Put up your right hand and say, oh yeah! Question number 2, how many of you guys would like to leave here today better looking, more attractive, and more sexy than when you came in? Put up your left hand and say, oh yeah! This guy's like, heck yeah. Question number 3, how many of you guys like to have a good time between now and when we're done in about 30 minutes with my speech? Put up both hands and say, that's me! Then everybody say, good news! The good news is that you're in the right place at the right time, because I am just like you. In my life, I want to have more fun, more success, and great relationships while I'm doing it. Everybody do this. Tap the person's shoulder on the right side next to you and say, you lucky to be sitting next to me. Tap the person's shoulder on the other side and say, no, you lucky to be sitting next to me. Everybody please clap once. Clap twice. The truth of the matter is that I am lucky to be standing in front of all of you. Not only because you guys are incredible and cool people, but because there was a time in my life when I'm convinced I'm about to die. My fingertips are all chapped and cracked, covered in blood. My arms are twitching from lactic acid buildup. This bead of sweat forms on my forehead, dribbles down to my nose, hangs there for just a moment. Then it falls and falls and falls. 250 feet to the ground below me. I'm rock climbing in central Washington State. The only thing stopping my whole body from slamming into the granite rocks below me is 250 feet of nothing. And if you were there, you'd see that I have a harness, and it's tied to my climbing partner, Greg. He's about from me to, what is your name right here? On the end? Amber? He's about from me to Amber. So I'm tied to Amber or Greg. Amber or Greg is tied to me, but he or she is not tied to anything else. So if I fall, who falls as well? Amber or Greg or Gregamber or whatever you want to call her, right? About 2 minutes earlier, we're sitting on a ledge, and it's about the size of one of the seats that you're in right now, and we're mashed up against each other like this. And I say, Greg, look, the first bolt is right there. If I can get to that, we'll be fine. He says, no, you got to put in some gear, some protection here in case something goes wrong. You'll be okay. I say, don't worry about it. We've been climbing all day, no problem. And I started to traverse out. And at first, it was easy, just like I thought it would be. But then the rock got steeper and steeper and sharper and sharper. It gets to a spot where it's so sharp that the rubber on my shoes is being cut off and falling to the ground below me. That's why my fingertips are all covered in blood. And I get to a spot that's bare. It's bald as Mr. Clean's head. There is nowhere to go. And I look over to Greg and I go, Greg, I'm gonna fall. And he goes, don't. I go, I can't help it, I'm gonna go. And he says 2 words that would change my life. In fact, they ended up becoming the title of the very first book that I ever wrote. He looks me square in the eye and he says, John, climb on. And those 2 words, climb on, they may never save your life, but they can make it a whole lot better. Because today I'm going to show you how you can get anything that you want out of your life. If that sounds good to you, like to learn how you can get anything that you want, tap the person's shoulder in front of you and say, ooh, I want that. Turn around and say to the person behind you, yeah, me too. In fact, if you take everything that I'm going to show you today, you put it to use, and if it does not work for you, I will give you $100 cash. Now, is that a deal or is that a deal? Everybody say, that's a deal. That is a deal. That's a good deal. Then I need 2 volunteers to come up and help me on stage to get things started. One is right here. I need a guy as well. How about, right there, waving your arms in the vest. Give these guys a round of applause as they come up. Now, before this whole event started, I had a whole bunch of you write down your favorite movie quotes on these note cards right here. If you didn't write down a movie quote, don't worry about it. Just know that there's movie quotes, lines from movies written on these cards. Now, I need to make sure that you guys in the audience can hear both of these volunteers here. So I'm going to ask their name. If you can hear their name, please just clap once, okay? What is your name?
Michaela Clymer.
Clymer, I love the last name, Michaela. And what is your name?
Karinsky Wilkerson.
Kerensky, okay. Michaela, we're going to pretend, is my daughter, okay? Karinsky, you dog, you. Karinsky, we're going to pretend, has a crush on Michaela. Everybody go, aww. So what's going to happen, Karinsky is going to come over to Michaela and my house, and he's going to try and ask her out on a date, through me, the father. But the catch is the only words that they're allowed to say while they're up here, the only sentences they're allowed to speak in, are the movie quotes that all of you guys wrote down. So I'm going to shuffle this up. Now, Karinsky, it's not your job to try and make this make sense, okay? And Michaela, just go one by one through the cards, okay? So Karinsky, could you just take a few steps back for me? We're going to be over in our house. Karinsky, whenever you're ready, come on over, knock on the door, and we'll see how this turns out. Karinsky, whenever you're ready, come on over. Oh, hey, you must be Karinsky.
Yes, sir. Hello, I'm San Diego. I'm Run. I don't know what that is. Tina, you fat lord, come get your dinner.
That's an interesting way to start off the conversation with the girl's father, I have to say. Michaela, I don't really know what to make of this guy right here, so why don't you tell me a little bit about him?
We thought you was a toad.
You thought I was a toad or you thought he was a toad? I don't quite understand. I need to find out about this guy right here and whether I should let you go on a date with him. So tell me, when you first saw him, what was the first thought that went through your mind?
Come and say hello to my little friend.
So, Karinsky, it's obvious that she likes you, I think. Karinsky, I love my daughter very much. What is your favorite quality about my daughter?
You had me like, hello.
That's very romantic. Okay, well then, Karinsky, I need to know what you guys are going to do today, you know, what the plan is for the night. So what is the plan? What is the date going to consist of?
I'll make you a silky smoothie.
You guys are going to go out for smoothies. Okay, I can appreciate that. Michaela, what would your ideal date be? What would you most want to do on a date?
I see dead people.
I think we're going to have to get you checked out then. That's a little bit strange. You know what? There's only one thing that's really important to me. And, Karinsky, I really love my daughter here. Would you ever put the moves on a girl on the first date?
Get her done.
So, clearly I can't trust Kerensky. So I'm gonna have to ask you, Michaela, if he tries to kiss you tonight, what will be your response?
Die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
I don't know what that meant, but it's creepy enough to let you go on the date. So, Michaela, would you do me a favor, stand over here next to Kerensky for me? I'm just gonna take their picture, and whenever I have my picture taken, I always say cheese. What do you say when you have your picture taken?
Hamburger good, burger can I take your order?
Kerensky, how about you? What do you say when you have your picture taken?
Run, Forrest, run.
Okay, how about you guys both look at the camera and say, run, Forrest, run on 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Run, Forrest, run.
That was a good one. Anything else before you go, Michaela?
If you're not first or last.
And how about you?
I don't know.
You know what? Just give them both a round of applause. That's awesome. Hold on, guys. And in order to thank them both for coming up, I'm going to give them each a copy of my book. It's called Climb On, Success Strategies for Teens. There you go, Michaela. Thank you very much. You can put them on the table there. And give them another round of applause. I was like, that couldn't have been planned better. That was amazing. Now, that was just a goofy little game I like to play to get things started. But you could kind of see that when they were up here, they were a little bit frustrated because they had that movie quote telling them what to do, what to say, how to act every second that they were up here. What if your whole life was like that? And it was a script. And you had somebody telling you what to do, what to say, how to act every minute of your life. You'd be pretty frustrated. So it's my job here today to teach you how to make your own life into your own adventure, how to live out your own majestic journey that's in store for you. And you know what else I like about the movies? I like that guy in the previews with that super deep voice he's got. You know that guy? He's like, from the people that brought you Titanic. You know that guy? Like no matter what he's talking about, he's always gonna use the movie voice, like, Barney meets the Teletubbies. You know this guy? Could you see him like going through puberty? This voice cracking and everything. He's going up to girls like, hey baby, how you doing? Excuse me. It's just that I think you're real cute. I was hoping one day we could go out on a date. Cause that would make me happy. And then after his voice cracks, he can't do anything else. He couldn't be a farmer. The cows would think that he is one of them, like, move, Betsy, move. Cow's like, what the heck's going on? He couldn't be a taxi cab driver, that'd just freak you out. You get in the taxi with him and he's like, hey. Where am I taking you today? You'd be like, I'm gonna catch the next cab. What if he was a teacher at your school? Comes up to you and he's like, nice job, Bobby. Have some candy. You'd be like, I'm gonna transfer schools, this is weird. You see, we go to the movies because we see these people on the screen that have action, adventure, romance, comedy in their lives, and these are the exact same things that we want for ourselves. It's like it's written into our souls that each moment is supposed to have an incredible new adventure, and each second has an amazing surprise. For me, that's why I go rock climbing, because it's my personal life adventure. But what I really care about is that you find your own adventure for your life, and you go live that. And you know, anywhere in the country that I travel to, it always happens. The ladies always want to make some noise, so now's your opportunity, your chance. Go ahead, ladies, where are you at? Make some noise. There's a lot of you. Ladies, would you like a secret? Would you like a secret about men, about guys? She's like, no, why would I care? Here it is. Guys, raise your hand. How many guys here play video games like World of Warcraft? Any like Tony Hawk? Any Counter-Strike players? Here's the secret then about us men. When we've got that controller, the paddle, we're not just watching the Master Chief blow up the Covenant armies. Oh no. For us, it's so much bigger than the graphics or the sound, because when we've got that controller, we are the Master Chief. That's us living out the adventure that we see on the screen. Wouldn't that be cool though, if you were in a video game? Like if you were Mario and you could just jump on somebody and they disappear? That'd be the best. Your teacher comes in, she's like, class, you got a test coming up this Thursday. You'd be like, oh yeah? Test that, ha ha! Where'd you go? Your mom comes in, she's like, honey, it's time to pick up your clothes, don't you think? Don't make me jump on you, woman. See, us guys play video games because that's us living out the adventure that's written into our hearts. Guys, would you like a secret about women? Here it is. Gentlemen, if you want to impress a woman, remember this name. Remember the name Helen of Troy. Helen of Troy. Why? Because two countries, the most powerful countries in the world at the time, went to battle for her. No, I'm not saying go take over Canada. I'm not saying go get in a fight. I'm saying give her that level of respect and determination and the idea that you will do anything for her. And then you'll be okay with the ladies. And girls, if he doesn't give you that level of respect, you drop him like a 2-week-old dirty diaper, you know what I'm saying? That's weird when it's that big. You see, men and women both, we want our life to be an incredible adventure. And so I've created what I like to call the Climb On Success Formula. And it's something that's easy, that anybody can put to use. Because I believe that life is very difficult. If you agree with that, say yes. And I believe life can be very confusing. If you agree with that, say yeah. And I believe life can be very complicated. If you agree with that, say heck yeah. So if life is difficult and confusing and complicated, then what we need is a solution that's easy, that anybody can put to use. If that makes sense to you, say climb on. So I'm going to give you guys right now the Climb On Success Formula. The first part of it, I just want you to whisper real low. It's this. Pick a summit. Whisper it with me on 3. Pick a summit. 1, 2, 3. Pick a summit. So the first thing that I do when I go out rock climbing is I see this mountain range in front of me. I pick one peak, one summit to get to the top of. It sounds basic, but it's profound because so few people in the world have any idea where they're going, what their plan is to make it happen, or how they're going to get there. To show you guys what I mean by this, I need everybody, please show me both of your hands. Hold up both of your palms so I can see them real high. Perfect. Now, did you know that one of your hands is longer than the other one? It's true. You can find out because underneath each one of your palms, you have a line that goes straight across. Everybody nod your head yes if you see that line that goes straight across. Good. What you're going to do is take both of those lines, line them up perfectly so that you make a fan shape just like this. Everybody, make that fan shape and hold it up real high so I can see it. Perfect. Now, making sure those lines are lined up perfectly, roll those hands together, stretch them out, and you'll see that one of your hands is just barely longer than the other one. Now do this. Everyone, show me the shorter of your two hands, your shorter hand. We're going to give this hand a goal right now. We're going to make this hand grow. Everybody do this. Look at your hand square in the eye and say this at your hand. Hand. Say it like you mean it. Hand. Get bigger. You are now gigantic. You are bigger than my other hand. I can feel you enormous. You mammoth hand, you. Now watch this. Take that hand, line those two lines up again. Make that fan shape, roll your hands together, and look at how that hand grew. Isn't that weird? Now, this does not work for any other body parts. I'm just gonna... Oh, you guys are sick! Talking about like arms or ears. What you just did was give your hand a very simple goal. You said, I'm gonna make my hand get bigger. But it works for so much more than just silly little tricks like that. The first time that I learned the power of picking a summit was my very first day of college. My professor walks in. He's kind of a timid guy. Sets his briefcase down. He says, class, your assignment for the next week is to write out 100 goals for your life. I'm like, what, 100 goals? If you do not do this assignment, you will flunk my class. Guess I have to do it. So I was just a little punk kid. I pull out the notepad and pen. Number 1, finish this assignment. Number 2, get to number 3. But the more I started goofing off with it, the more I realized I couldn't fudge the whole assignment. So I started writing down real goals for myself, real goals for my life. I wrote down goals like graduate from college with honors, write a book by the time I turn 20, visit every continent on the planet. In fact, climb to the tallest mountain, the tallest peak of every continent on the planet. I wrote down goals like become fluent in Spanish and in Mandarin Chinese. I wrote down goals like ride elephants in Thailand, snowboard through a flock of penguins in Antarctica, wrestle a giant carp in Cambodia, give away $1 million to charity over the course of my lifetime. To date, I've finished 40 of them, and I can guarantee you that by the day I die, all 100 crossed off the list. Thank you. Thank you so much. And that means a lot to me that you guys applaud for that. But what's truly magnificent is if you do the same thing for yourself. You come up with your own list of 25, 50, 100 goals, summits for your life, and you make your whole objective about achieving those things. And when you do this, does anybody here know how to make a flea circus? Awesome. A flea circus. Here's how it's done. A little flea, a bug that's no bigger than a button on your cell phone, can jump off the ground 20 to 30 feet straight up into the air. So to make a flea circus, you take a whole bunch of these bugs, put them in a jar, take a piece of cardboard, cover the jar. Well, now these dumb, idiot, moron fleas are like at the bottom of the jar, and they leap up with this 20 or 30 foot force jump, slam their heads into the cardboard, and they fall back down. So they do it again. Bottom of the jar. Leap up, slam their heads, and fall back down. They do this over and over and over again until sooner or later, the flea starts to associate or connect pain with jumping high. So you take those fleas, dump them out of the jar. For the rest of their lives, those fleas will only jump however high that piece of cardboard was set. And before you look at the flea and you're like, stupid flea. Think about how it applies to you and I. Because you remember when you were a kid really little and anything was possible? It's like one day you're going to be an incredible football star, the next day you're going to be a NASA space astronaut, then you're going to have this amazing family, the day after that you're going to be a professional author, whatever the case may be. Somewhere along the course of our lives, we stop dreaming like that. Because somebody came along and they put a proverbial piece of cardboard over the jar of our life. They told us, no, you're not from the right background, you're not from the right race or religion, your family doesn't have enough money, you're not smart enough, whatever the case may be. We stopped dreaming like we did when we were kids. My challenge to you is to pretend like no one has ever told you no when you come up with these 25, 50, or 100 summits for your life. If you'll do that, say, oh yeah! Cool, then the second part of the Climb On Success formula, I want you guys to yell out as loud as you can so that cars driving down the street out front are like, whoa, what the heck was that? It's this. Gear up. Gear up on 3, okay? 1, 2, 3. Awesome energy, sweet. So, in order to show you guys what I mean by this, I need everybody to stand up right where you're at. Once you've stood up, everybody please put both hands up in the air, just like this. Go up on your tippy toes, stretch out for a second, say, ooh, that feels good. Once you've stretched out, go down off your tippy toes, take your left hand, put your left hand down, take your right hand, point your right hand straight forward, just like this. Now do not do it yet. Wait until I tell you what to do. You're going to take that right hand, keep your feet totally planted, spin to the right, you're going to miss your neighbor's head, keep spinning around, and then you're going to get a visual spot on the wall of the furthest around point you can possibly spin to. So it might be on the wall, it might be on somebody else's head. Here we go, everybody together. Put that hand forward. Put that hand forward. Spin on 3. 1, 2, 3, go. Get that visual spot of your furthest around spot. Great, now everybody come back to me, come back to me. Take that right hand, point it straight down at the ground. Everybody please close your eyes. Imagine this. Do not physically do it, but imagine yourself lifting your hand up just like you did. Imagine yourself spinning around in that circle, only this time you feel loose, you're limber, you're all stretched out, your body feels good. You smack your neighbor in the jaw. No, just kidding. Miss your neighbor's head. You continue spinning around. Only this time, because of how stretched out and loose and good you feel, you go 6 inches past that spot. A foot past that spot. 1.5 feet right past that spot. Everybody see that? Say yes. Yes. Everybody please open up your eyes. Lift that hand up. Spin around in the circle and look at how much further you can go this time because you made that plan. Once you've done that, give yourselves a round of applause and take a seat. Everybody please clap once, clap twice, clap 3 times. What you just did when you spun around the second time was you had a plan. That's what gear up means, is to create a plan for yourself and your life. When I go out rock climbing, I have a harness, and my harness that I put the gear on to gear up is my plan to get up my mountain.